A historian explains how the Pilgrims took over Thanksgiving and who has been erased. 9 in 10 Americans gather around a table to share food on Thanksgiving. At this polarizing moment, anything that promises to bring Americans together warrants our attention. But as a historian of religion, I feel obliged to recount how popular interpretations of Thanksgiving also have pulled us apart. Communal rituals of giving thanks have a longer history in North America, and it was only around the turn of the 20th century that most people in the U.S. came to associate Thanksgiving with Plymouth Pilgrims and generic Indians sharing a historic meal. Native American tribes arrive in Plymouth to mourn on Thanksgiving. The emphasis on the Pilgrims' 1620 landing and 1621 feast erased a great deal of religious history and narrowed conceptions of who belongs in America, at times excluding groups such as Native Americans, Catholics, and Jews. Farming faiths and harvest festivals. The usual Thanksgiving depiction overlooks indigenous rituals that give thanks, including harvest festivals. The Wampanoag, who shared food with the Pilgrims in 1621, continued to celebrate the cranberry harvest. And similar feasts were held long before Columbus sailed and Pilgrims landed. The botany behind why cranberries became a Thanksgiving staple. In the 2025 book, Religion in the Lands That Became America, for instance, celebrants gathered for a communal feast in the late 11th century in the 50-acre plaza of Cahokia, that native city, across the river from present-day St. Louis, was the largest population center north of Mexico before the American Revolution. Cahokians and their neighbors came in late summer or early autumn to give deities thanks, smoke ritual tobacco, and eat special food, not corn, their dietary staple, but symbolically significant animals such as white swans and white-tailed deer. So, those Cahokians attended a Thanksgiving feast 5 centuries before the Pilgrims' harvest time meal. Days of Thanksgiving, the usual depiction also de-emphasizes the tradition of officials announcing special days of Thanksgiving, a practice familiar to the Pilgrims and their descendants. The Pilgrims, who settled in what is now Plymouth, Massachusetts, were separatist Puritans who had denounced the Catholic elements that remained in the Protestant Church of England. They first sought to form their own purified church and community in Holland. After about 12 years, many of them moved again, crossing the Atlantic in 16